up and sit down.
Hello people, it's Andy from Bigmeks Workshop and Painting Studio, and it's White Dwarf time. This is October White Dwarf, and we have a awesome image of some Eldar fighting against Necrons. As always, I've not looked through this yet, and let's just get on. Let's talk about what's up in this White Dwarf. So, what's a flashpoint? Issue number 457. Flashpoints are collections of content about a specific area or conflict at a given time. In this issue, Warhammer 40,000 Flashpoint, Avagon system, and every article is so tagged about this important war zone in the Pariah Nexus. Flashpoints will span multiple issues of White Dwarf, so you can expect to explore Flashpoint Avagon system for the rest of the year. So, cool. So we've got some content for narrative and maybe to a degree regular sort of non-competitive match play games, giving funky different rules for various different types of conflict. What we get on the in 40k. So let's just skip the contents page because that's boring. And so we've got content from the fans. We've got some really cool looking Marines as always. Very groovy Emperor's Spear paint palette. I do like their models. The Emperor's Spears do really sort of strike a chord with me for the Imperial sort of stuff. Very nicely painted Kosoro Khan even. Very dusty sort of paint job. Nice work. That was painted by Francesco Oliveri. So well done there, mate. You've done a really good job. I really struggle to say it. Car Charadon's Intercessor Sergeant. But us, oh god, we'll always know them as the Space Sharks. Different sort of grey, much more green grey than you'd classically see them. Interesting colour choice, I like it. And the Loon Boss on a Cave Squig from Age of Sigmar, which is just such a cool figure. I do like that one. So some more fan paintwork. The Asteria Soulbright, which has got some kind of giant jaguar looking thing. Nice work on the spots. Some spots are really cool. What else have we got? What we're looking at? A lovely Blood Bowl logo here. That's nice to see something a little bit different. Really cool flock colour as well. I like it. Some Adeptus Titanicus. It's nice, like I say. It's nice to see alternate ranges, but we don't always make it into White Dwarf. And the model of the month is Arcana Black from the Mortarch Rangers from Age of Sigmar. And yeah, you've done a really nice job there, mate. Well done. It was painted by Daniel Jackson. So if you're watching this one, mate, thanks for submitting that. You've done a really nice job on there, kid. So well done. So starting off, we've got Black Library. So this is fiction. I'm not sure. The Terminus. So bit of a short story by the looks of things, unless it's an excerpt from a book. It's from the Warhammer Horror range. So I've got a nice, what looks like a short story. Like I say, could be an excerpt, not too certain. But with it being the Halloween issue, I dare say it's a full story. We might have done a full story for you. Worlds of Warhammer, and this is talking about Age of Sigmar, looking how stories are created and legends are born. This month, Age of Sigmar background writer Jordan Green talks about something funny. So throw in a few jokes into the Worlds of Warhammer and 40k, which is quite an important part of the lore. It can't always be doom and dark. You've got to have a bit of a light-hearted humour in there, because for one thing, it makes it a little bit more entertaining for everybody. So, Age of Sigmar, we have some trolls, and boy, are they cool. So, the Tome Celestial, Trog Herds of the Realms. Huge, stupid, and extremely dangerous. Troggoths are an anathema to all that is reasonable and ordered. Though most commonly found lumbering to war alongside grot hordes of the Gloomspygits, on rare occasions, these idiots beasts will suddenly come together to form walking disasters known as Trog Herds. Woe betide any caught in the way of their brutish onslaught. Yeah, let's face it. Trolls are bad enough when they're pointed at an enemy by something what's got vague intelligence. But when they're roaming around on their own, or in a massive group of them, I could see that being a seriously unenviable place to be near. And for those of you who've never really had a look at the trolls, check them out on the GW site or whoever you use. The troll models are superb. I really am looking to get my hands on painting one of them. I might just have to poke dodge into picking one up. So yeah, we've got a whole section on Trogs, and a little bit about their backstory, about the history of wars they've been involved in. Obviously, trolls don't really write things down, so it's probably more likely on the enemy's perspective. But here's a bit of a backstory, and we've got some battalion and allegiance abilities. Let's go through them. So, basic abilities are as such. Monstrous Regeneration. Add 1 to the dice that determines if a friendly Glog's Megamob Troggoth unit heals any wounds when it uses its regen. Simple as that. It sort of makes sense. If you're running a pure troll army, you're going to have some kind of regeneration bonus. Otherwise, what's the point? Command ability. Oblivious to Sorcery. You can use this command ability in your hero phase. If you do, pick one friendly Glog Megamob Fellwater Troggoth or Glog's Megamob Rockgut Troggoth. It is a bit of a mouthful, I do apologise. Unit within 12 inches of a friendly Herald. Until your next hero phase, each time a unit is affected by a spell or endless spell, you can roll a dice. If you do so, on a 4+, ignore the effects. Nice! So I dare say you've probably got no wizards of any kind in there, so it does kind of make sense. Command trait, Shepherd of Idiotic Destruction, which is a cool name in itself. If this general is part of your army on a battlefield at the start of your hero phase, roll a dice. On a 4+, you receive 1 extra command point. I don't know how Age of Sigmar command points work, but if it's only like 40k, that's brilliant. Artifact of Power, the Glog's Megamob Troggoth Hero has to get it, and Aether Quartz Studded Hide. I'll read a bit of the backstory of this one. On their travels, this Troggoth has picked up his many prisms of Aether Quartz and stuck them into his tough flesh. Though it almost certainly has no idea why it did so, the power of a Hessian Realm Stone nevertheless lends it surprising resilience. Roll dice every time you allocate a mortal wound to the bearer. On a 5+, it's negated. Nice. And also kind of groovy insofar as he's just sort of picked it up as he's gone along. Update to the Bad Moon Loon Shrine. At the end of each of your turns, you can pick one friendly Troggoth unit within that has been destroyed. If you do so, on a 4+, a new replacement unit with half the models from that unit that were destroyed, rounding up, is added to your army. Nice. Free stuff. We all like that. War Scale Battalion is as such, it costs 160 points. It has to have one Glog's Megamob, Dankold Trogboss, 3 to 9 Troggoths of various types, and up to 2 Ale Guzzler Gargants. So you can have trolls and giants. Although you could always convert a giant to be a giant troll, which is kind of disturbing, but also ultimately cool. One-track mines, units from the battalion can retreat and still shoot and or charge later in the same turn, which, even as a 40k player, is really good. And there you go. There's an army showcase of the trolls in question. Great looking figures, and I dare say that army would be absolutely hilarious to play. So there you go. A couple of pages of close-in photos of the troll. That's a Forge World kit, which is a naked female troll. I will emphasise the naked part. It is quite disturbing. So, mind bleach is recommended. So, Age of Sigmar rules of engagement. So, this is Jervis Johnson wants to talk about points. So, this is Jervis Johnson talking about how they go about working their point systems. Clearly, it's not the best system ever developed, because it's consistently get it wrong in 40k, but the less we say about that, the better. The Monster Slayer. Obviously, talking about Golden Demon, they're talking to Slayer Sword winner Maxime Pernaud and his love of painting and his winning entry from 2019. So, obviously, this guy is superb. He's a Slayer Sword winner. I've seen some of his work in person over the years, as we've covered Golden Demon entries. Yeah, I mean, just look at his first Slayer Sword entry, and his first Slayer Sword winner, and that was superb. That's the piece what got him last year's Slayer Sword, and understandably so. Yeah, that's just absolutely stunning. The level of detail and care and attention he put even just into the base itself is just insane. It's rather nice. He's also put in a few tips on how he's done it and how he put it together. So he's had to resculpt. Obviously, he's resculpted a whole bunch of stuff using various different mediums, and now he's gone about making the blends and the colours what he wanted to use. So that's something me and Doc are probably going to have a real good look at when we get a chance. So 40k now, the Avagon campaign. And this is the Avagon system. So, yeah, as we've talked about the Flashpoints, this is the first Flashpoint article that GW released. And I think it's a really nice idea, because we all want more rules and more embellishment in the lore and the backstory of various different subsectors and systems in 40k. So it's nice to see all these different regions are getting just a little bit of flavour, just because there's so many billions of planets in the 41st Millennium's galaxy. But there's so much you can work with. It really does give us plenty of scope for throwing together some rules of our own. So, Avagon campaign rules. So it's got a whole bunch of rules on how to play. If it's 2 to 10 players, 2 alliances, 11 to 15, 3, 16 plus 4. These are some big campaigns if you're getting 16 players. I would love to see that. After a campaign master has been chosen, it's time to split up the players into alliances. So they will play over the course of a campaign. The number of alliances to use in a campaign is cut down to the campaign master to decide, but a good starting point can be found. So yeah, you pick a GM from the players. It can be one of the players itself, or it can be somebody independent. It's just somebody who's got the ability to put everything together. So if you've got a particularly organised sort of person in your friends group, that's the sort of person you want to have as your group master. So you've got your campaign phases. So Warzone points earned, win, lose and draw. And obviously, depending on the size of a game, you get more points. And obviously you've got various different little rules. I'm going to have a real good read for this because it looks rather interesting. So, but what is interesting is we've got different types of treacherous land. So you've got tectonic effects, so you've got earthquake potentials, interesting water effects, weather effects such as gales or you're in the middle of a storm. Different objectives, plus agendas for those playing Crusade as well. And I dare say the Crusade system would really work well with these because it's pretty much what the Crusade system was built for. So, obviously, if you're running Crusade, you've got XP and different items available to that. And obviously, at the endings, like enemy units destroyed, you lose or gain experience depending on the results. So this looks like it's this is another short story. So a little short narrative part about the system, and obviously you've got your Galactic Warzone, so the artwork of 40k, and obviously models. Genestealer cults. I do like the models. I really hope my mate Si gets around to finishing this because I want to play him when all this mess has calmed itself down a bit. Because they've never had a chance to play against Genestealers, and they really do look interesting. Oh yes, I think Dodge will like to see that one. An Orc Shroud Bomber. It looks like some kind of knight bashed into a helicopter. Very weird. I love it. Some kind of crazy Dark Mechanicum tech priest. I think it's Dark Mechanicum anyway. Yeah. Nice. I do like to see really cool conversions. Ooh, this is interesting. Tutorials on how to get the best on your scenery, weathered metal. I can honestly say the sponge method really worked well. The colour choice is really nice actually. 40k Echoes from the Warp, obviously. Talking about the tactics and ongoing development of 40k, as always. Glory points, pretty much the same for Beastgrave as the Echoes from the Warp. Just more talking about the development of the game, and yet more stories. We like stories. I approve of stories. Tactics on Beastgrave and how to get the best out of your decks. Quite a lot of tactics. Scenes of battle. So we've got a photography section now. That's a new section. Can't remember if it was on in last month. Sorry. It's nice to see some real nice photos. Blackstone Fortress. More rules for Blackstone Fortress as always. They really are going to town on the additional rules for Blackstone Fortress. They really are expanding the story. I'm going to have to get around to playing it at some point. And finally, Middle Earth as well. So J. Claire talks about Middle Earth Tactica, and I'm guessing it's some because the articles of Pale Lord cometh, it's going to be something about Azog, which I dare say, although I do own Pelennor, I've not actually gone around to playing it yet. I have seen his profile. I did play Middle Earth when Hobbit came out. So looking at his profile, he's pretty tasty. I dare say he's much more imposing on the table than just even his profile would make out. And at last, but not least, we get to Necromunda, talking about the campaign rules and how to manage them. And as always, we've got an extra chapter of Faith and Fire by James Swallow, which is regular feature of the book of White Dwarf. They throw an extra. They always throw a few chapters of that in as well. And that's it. That is your lot for this time round. Next issue, we've got the Index Tomekeepers again, which is White Dwarf's own chapter, which are a Primaris unit. So there you go. This month's White Dwarf. Lots of fluff type stuff in there. So the guys who are interested in the stories and the artwork are really going to get a lot. I'm definitely going to have a good read of that Avagon system campaign rules. That looks quite interesting actually to me. So there you go, guys, and that is it. Okay, guys, thank you for watching this. I think you've listened to me ramble long enough as always. So please check us out on Patreon. Hit like and subscribe if you want to see all this. Obviously, this is just another video. We release this one like this every month. But we also do tutorials, which are usually released every week or sometimes every 2. If you're interested in helping us out, please hit like and subscribe. Also, please check out our Patreon, where we have a whole bunch of benefits, and you get early access to all our videos. Speaking of our Patreons, massive thank yous to the Orc Boys, Matt, Ludwig Hofbauer, DWAT, Matt, Dave, Tom, Spiky Dude, Warren, Ben, and White Metal Games. You're our top paying Patreons, and you are awesome. We could not do this without you, so huge thank yous to you guys. You really do help us keep the lights on here. Also, massive thanks to our affiliate links, which are in the description. Element Games and The Outpost. Want to help support the channel and get cheap model and hobby supplies? Click the Element Games affiliate link in the description for 15 to 25% off. Use the promo code BIG223 on the checkout to earn double crystals. Crystals equals cash in your Element Games account that can be spent on your next purchase, so everybody wins. Anyway, thank you for watching this video, and we will catch you next time. Ta-ra!